Hello, I'm John Joe. Welcome to Line War. Today we're taking a break from the tournament because I wanted to show this weird map. Look, we've got loads of water in this map and we do a 1v1. So, Sosoolka? Sosoolka. Yeah, that's how I think you pronounce that name. I'm not very good at reading Russian, but yeah. So, he started on this island and we've got a lot of trade routes over here, but there's only one energy well, so I wanted to start on this island. So there's energy and a bit of eco, but not as much as the other island when it comes to eco. I will probably skip ahead a little bit just so we can get to the actual fighting and engagements. But there are also a lot of energy in the water, and I knew that this map being a water-based map, you're going to need a lot of energy. And I thought I need to learn how to use energy a bit better, so I thought this would be great training for me. I'm going to turn off the fog of war completely. I'm going to try and be careful with my map movements because when you're in times speeds, things start getting really awkward to use. Over here we've got another city that I wanted to try and get hold of. On the other hand, I'm not going to be able to zoom in very easily unless I slow down time. There we go. So they're trying to set up their trade routes. I think they thought this was a trade route from these two, but it isn't. I think this one connects to this place over here somewhere. I'm not sure. And it kind of made it a bit awkward to see what's going on there. Or it's this one that goes around there, and this one comes out that way. So yeah, they've got a lot of ecoing to do. But I saw that they had a lot to do, and I thought these energy wells would be their top priority. So I wanted to go and try and get there as well. They've already crossed the water, but they're going to send some units over anyway. They do also have this island over here to grab if they want to, but it isn't really too valuable. But on this map, any territory is good eco. I start off with 2 sub-pens, an airfield because I knew I'm going to want something for defense, but not only defense, it'll be good for some aircraft carriers later. I don't worry too heavily about energy wells just yet. I wanted to get my eco sorted first, and I wanted to harass the enemy. I'm capturing these territories because I want my submarines to build up in numbers a bit first. So let's speed this up a little bit. They're also going to be grabbing territories. They got a lot of territories around them, and I've got a transport boat moving in to this area over here. I kind of wanted to scout him. I thought there's a town here. If I get lucky, I can get in there and take something out. But if I don't, I'm not too worried. Immediately responding to me, they placed an airfield down and 4 navy yards. Let's have a look at their economy right now because they must be booming it as well. They've got 600 coming in per minute. That is quite a large amount of eco, and now I've got my submarines here, so instead of targeting them, I leave these 2 here to, you know, take out any units that come across. But I also go for the docks themselves. I get some units in at the top here, and now we're actually engaging. I am going to slow it down. And I got my subs to take out some of these docks, which is actually going to hinder their economy a fair bit. Now, I don't want to reveal this type of navy. I'm just using submarines at the minute, hoping that they'll switch into mostly destroyers. But they got their air units going on a command to protect this entire area. And I want, what's my economy? So he's on 1,200. My economy is on 1,000. So they're actually ahead of me in eco. And I've got my submarines over here. There's quite a few destroyers over here taking out my subs, which is bit annoying, but it's kind of what I expected. I also have some submarines going down this way to join up with my army, who's going to take on the energy well that's there. But SOS was actually pretty good. They've got some power plants set up and a depot to keep some energy going. But my infantry that came in over here tried to target this, but they did get this town over here. So I was able to take that out. Now my eco is building up, my capital. But I don't want to spend too much on navy units, because if I do, they won't be able to move much in the waters. Even if I have 3 energy wells over there, and I do have the capability to build here, but I'm worried about it being contested by another force, like I'm doing to him. I've got my strikers to take this out, because any navy units that come in will have to go through this army rather than my army taking it out. What I didn't realise is they've got a navy over here, and they come straight in behind and take out, or try to take out, my aircraft carrier. I do pull it back, And my navy does take it on, and I do have some units up here. No, I don't. Not anymore. I'm trying to remember this battle, to be honest. Oh yeah, my submarines move over here because they were trying to take out the energy as well. Now on this section, I have pretty much run out of energy completely. SOS is about the same. So they're more worried about trying to build up their energy with power plants right now, which is a very good idea on these maps, especially when you've got such high eco. It kind of makes it much more worth it to try and build up as many power plants as you can. The longer you keep your navy running, the more effective they'll be at taking out your opponent. So for now, as I'm waiting for my energy to build up as well, I start capturing land as it doesn't take too much. And I send in my strikers to take in this town. Again, this is just mass harassment I'm trying to do, as I'm not too worried about other things. And my strikers, I can't even remember if they do take it out or not. Yeah, they do, just in the nick of time as they're about to be blown out the sky. There we go, straight into the ocean. And I changed my submarines to take another path down this way, but as I'm doing this, I have another plan over here. We can see I've got my artillery and infantry with enough boats expanding, but SOS is still trying to get their eco sorted because I keep harassing it, and the longer they keep this trade routes up, the worse it's going to be for me, because they definitely have a higher eco than me. So I have to keep control over the ocean. And I do sort out some extra energy for myself. But if I start using my navy, it's still not positive. I have 6 energy wells, potentially 4 if I went back a bit. Do spot that later, but I didn't spot it early enough. But SOS does have quite a large navy fleet, and they have higher production when it comes to actual ships, but I do have higher navy production in total with my submarines and my transport boats, technically speaking. I do have my submarines going this way. We have energy running out, so I knew it was the navy. Because my energy is too low, my strikers are going to struggle in this as well, but he brings in his interceptors and strikers. From his perspective, his energy is doing far better than mine is. And he does take out my navy, which kind of sucks, to be honest. My strikers do try and take off and try and do some damage, but unfortunately the carrier gets taken out, so my strikers attached to it fly off aimlessly and run out of fuel. So I try and save any units that I can, and they're straying off over towards this location where they're regrouping, ready to fight anything that comes their way. I'm still building up my forces over there, and I have my submarines ready to take on this energy well once they've captured this territory. But I can see how fast my energy is being drained. I'm not even using haste mode, and I don't even have that large of an army at navy. But yeah, I do capture this territory. I don't get it just yet, but I have 1,500 in the bank. And I am taking on this energy well once again. It's undefended, so I'm going to take that out. And I had another force of units over here capturing some territories, which I nearly forgot about. And he comes in and takes out that city, which is definitely helping my eco. Let's have a look at the eco right now. So we've got 1,400 coming in with a lot saved up. And for me, I've got a lot saved up too with 1,400. So they are still ahead of me with eco, even without the city. At this point, their units come in and I send my submarines to take out these structures. If I can take out their navy production with my submarines and distract them with my units over here, I send in another attack here to make sure that my submarines can get the job done over here. And he does actually get distracted. He brings over most of his navy to this location here. And I have another plan. These guys are going to come in and attack at the same time. Both of us are running out of energy, I think. I've got some left over, but not too much. But his army or navy is in the right position. Large group right here, whereas mine isn't. Mine's spread out a bit too much, and my strikers do get taken out. So I send my carriers all the way back to my base. On the other hand, up here I also have some submarines moving in. And because the air units are up in the air right now trying to deal with what I had over here, they're a bit too distracted to come over here for a little bit. It gives me a little extra time. Not too much though. And there we go, my submarines are taking out the docks over here once again, denying them their trade route. But now I've got a fairly sizable force. He's got a large air force. They're going to take it out, but I did build SAMs, but they all, for some strange reason, stayed behind. I realise now that I must have set up this line as basic rather than having all units attached to it. But if they had run through, I might have been able to take out at least a couple of these. I try and build barracks, just in case he can't see me through the forest, which was a bit hasty because of the amount of air units there. I should have realised that that's just not going to happen. I got some interceptors of my own, because I saw the amount that he had, so I knew I'd want some taken over with carriers, but I just wanted some more carriers. Now my submarines are in the back of his base once again, taking them out, and as you can see, he's literally circled his island almost in a pathway. They're coming out from here, going there, and going this way, and they're just circling around. Down on the ground over here, though, I do shoot at this airfield. I took out one airfield, but that's about all I get on this section. But I do get a good sight into what his base looks like. Over here, though, we've got a lot of power plants as well, so their energy is doing really well. They've certainly got the storage for this, but their air units do take out my structures on the land as well, so I don't get to keep that for long. And he's got another trade route set up now, from this one to here. And I bring my strikers in from all the way over here. This aircraft carrier could just about reach it. So I set them off to attack it, and they do manage to take it out as well. Submarines are once again clearing out the production over here, and I'm bringing them back around again. I think I'm worried about the energy well being built once more, so as soon as I took it out, I was hoping he'd build it again. Which he hasn't done so just yet. I think he was worried about my submarine still being here taking on this docks, which would have been a good idea, but at the same time, with the amount of air units there, I'm glad I didn't. But I am putting him back there after seeing he's not rebuilding that structure. But now that I've got his focus down in the south, I'm sending some units across to this island here. Those submarines don't really get anything done, so I should have just pulled them back and kept them back. Now my navy is building up once again. I've got these units coming in, and they are slowly taking over this land. They're able to take out these infantry that's on the ground. I send off some infantry, well that was the plan, just have infantry go across this way, potentially capture this territory without being seen. But I forgot I don't have any infantry here, so I do change that a little. He's building up a defense in the forest here, because that's where I attacked before. And unfortunately, I think he does disconnect at this point. As you can hear from the beeping right now, I think he's disconnected, but he's still doing stuff. I see stuff moving around. He sends his air units this way, and then my SAM absolutely take them out. But at this point, I do think he just quit. He probably Alt F4'd, that's why it's still playing rather than that. I'm not sure what's happened. But he might still be playing. There we go. And he's now quit, either way. Thank you for watching. The match is now in. We'll have a quick look at the stats. So I'm pretty sure he had higher eco than me throughout the majority of that map. The treasury, this is how much we had on us. And capital income, there we go, through land and sea. See, I think these should be territory, because I can't see too much. I think it's just going to be value. So this is how much we had in value. And I start winning at this point when it comes to value. But when it comes to energy, I definitely had the most. And that's pretty much because I took control of the ocean pretty fast. Anyway, there are 2 videos on screen right now. Feel free to check them out. And thanks for watching. Probably another tournament video tomorrow. I'll see you around.